So as always, when we're looking at this stuff then, I'll include timestamps and everything if you want to jump to anything specific. It really helps, as you know, if you can watch as much of the video as possible in terms of watch hours and everything. That helps the algorithm tell YouTube that you like it. If you could like the video, subscribe if you're new or you haven't already, and we'll get right into it. Right, so for this week you join me what would be the engine bay, or where the motor sits in my case, with this being a full EV. If you're in the US, you'd call this a motor anyway if your engine was usually here, so depends where you're from regionally and everything. But we're going to look at engine bay cleaning, differences between an ICE car and an EV, and what considerations you have to make when talking about high voltage cables, things like that. So as with the case, a lot of modern cars, not just EVs, absolutely rammed full of plastic. So what we'll do first, in terms of any loose dirt, debris or anything that's on any of these plastics surfaces, what I like to do is give them a vacuum. In vacuuming, you just get the worst off the surfaces. So considerations then, obviously, in terms of what you would do like I mentioned, we'll give this a vacuum to start, get any of the worst of the dirt and debris off. We obviously did that in one of the other videos in terms of, I've already done that, so we'll go over that. So it shouldn't be too bad on all these plastics and the covers and everything, they've already been done once. In terms of like on the top of this shock mount here, inside the bay as such, this will benefit from a bit better of a clean. We didn't touch these last time. Externals and plastics and things down there, we can give them a wipe, as not too detrimental in there in terms of considerations to be made. Fuse boxes and everything, obviously we don't want to be spraying any heavy waters, liquids in there. So what we'll do, especially around any electrical connectors, including low and high voltage stuff, which is designated by the orange cabling and connectors, we'll stay away from spraying any water directly in there. Again, on top of this mount, you've got electronic connections for air suspension, some high voltage stuff. So there's a few considerations, differences to be made, but in terms of what we're going to do after vacuuming, we'll break out a good APZ, in our case Koch Chemie's Green Star, and that should be more than sufficient enough to get everything wetted through and then cleaned to a good standard. One other thing to be mindful of then, obviously depends whether you've got any soundproofing or anything under here, what you can see, and then how dirty this is as a consequence. So you can see there's some decent-ish level of dirt and everything that's transferred up here onto this. So we'll look at getting that cleaned and get that off as well. Right then, in terms of what you would expect condition wise after vacuuming, obviously you've got all light surface dust off and everything. All these main plastic panels are pretty good because we've done those previously. We'd managed to get into some of the suspension mounts and everything a bit better, and top plastics. All the top I haven't bothered with as such. Got some of the cobwebs off and things that were on, and done the gas struts. Apart from that, what we're going to do now, we're going to go around with Koch Chemie's Green Star in this case. This is mixed at 1 to 10. We'll get this round, get it wetted through without overly wetting it. The good thing about one of these spray bottles is you can obviously control how much you do or don't put on in terms of application. So it makes it that bit better for modulating it when you're around electrical connectors. So for stuff like these plastics, you can put as little or as much as you want on. Then when you get some of the more delicate areas, you can do exactly that and be more delicate. So we'll get on with this now, probably whiz through this in terms of time lapse and speeding it up for you, and we'll catch up after. Depending on how far you want to go then in terms of getting in nooks and crannies and everything, what we're doing obviously a minute is just a general clean. If it suits and you've got intricate areas, something that you want to really get into, you know, you're more than welcome to go in with a toothbrush if you don't have any detailing brushes, or if you've got a set of detailing brushes like I do, you can obviously choose one that's fixed for that duty. Something like this would be a perfect case for that. If you do have any worries or anything about actually spraying, whether it's an APC, any liquids directly into fuses, fuse boards, electronic components, especially some of the high voltage stuff, you can get a good wetting on your microfiber just by spraying directly into it, and obviously that avoids then any actual running liquids going directly into electrical componentry. So that's always an option if that sort of stuff makes you a bit more nervous. And some of these painted sort of suspension mounts, bits like that, exposed stuff, can be a bit of a pain sometimes, but as long as you take your time, you're careful, you get in here first off with a microfiber, and if you need to, you can get in with any brushes or anything like that. All comes off easy enough, it's just access isn't amazing sometimes. Don't worry about getting these absolutely spotless so you can eat your dinner off them. If you can't access it with a microfiber and a brush, it more than likely means you can't see it. So don't worry about being able to see this sort of stuff, because it should never see the light of day anyway. All the exposed plastics and everything. We've done electrical connectors, we've done top of the suspension mounts where we can and they're accessible. And what we've done is, spent a quick 10 minutes doing this. I've had a really good overall improvement. What we're going to do now is move on to this top area that's generally a bit dirtier, and we should have really good results with that as well. I think for the amount of time we've taken overall then, in terms of obviously cleaning out more of the bait itself, and then doing all the bonnet or the hood, whatever, doing this full cover, whatever you would call it, got some really good results very quickly. Obviously it does get contaminated under here with dirty water and everything, in the bad weather, but even still there's nothing too harsh or difficult to get off when you're having a look at doing so. So it's not something, again, that's a long process. It's not a difficult process, and one that's pretty satisfying really when you're considering the visual results you get and how quickly you get them. So in terms of what we've done then, summary wise, we've obviously vacuumed everything first to get the worst off. We've gone round with Koch Chemi's Green Star at 1 to 10, you know, in this spray bottle. We've not had an overly massive go at it or anything. You know, we spent a quick 10 minutes getting out plastics to come up nice and clean, give them some sort of nice OEM style finish again, just brought them that bit darker and that bit cleaner than what there was. So we've been able to do that quickly, easily, and it's well worth the results. Obviously in terms of when would you do this, you would ideally just add this on, so it's not dedicated, you're coming out to do this sort of process. If you get it right with the timings and everything, and you've washed your car, under here we'll have some water and everything in it anyway from washing processes, so it's a good time to do this. It'll add 10-15 minutes on depending how in depth you go. Obviously you could go well beyond what we've done in terms of breaking out all detailing brushes and getting in absolutely every little nook and cranny and doing more of a wetting with the APC, whatever you're using. We have obviously sprayed directly on some plastics and things today, and then for other things we've sprayed into microfiber. You can do either or. Like I said, just be mindful if you're doing an EV with your high voltage connections and things, and that you've got a lot of power supply stuff in here, or cabling that you have to be wary of. So more than anything then, this is going to be a bit of a beginner's guide to cleaning your engine bay, cleaning your motor compartment, whatever it is. Obviously this is an EV, there's extra considerations to make, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, it's largely similar, same principles apply. There's certain things you don't want to be getting water in or anything, like alternators and stuff if you've got a nice car. If you've got an EV, same applies for any electrical connections or any high voltage stuff, which is always designated with orange cabling. You don't want to be getting liquids in there if at all possible, so you can do things to mitigate that. Not obviously putting water in here, high pressure water specifically, is a start. That'll get you a long way to not damaging anything. Using an APC in a spray bottle, giving stuff a light misting, absolutely fine, you'll never have any issues. If you have got anything you're particularly worried about, you can always spray directly into your microfiber or brush, whatever you're using. That's it for today. Like we say, it's been more of a general overview, bit of a beginner's guide too, more than anything in terms of an intricate engine detail, or you know, compartment detail, whatever, when you've no ICE engine. So taking some getting used to is that. So obviously there isn't a lot of room in here in terms of an EV, so you might have more room than this with an engine bay. This is obviously covered up by this big plastic cover, there's some storage in here, but with the motor and everything, and this being a non-EV only platform, it's a modification of an existing platform, so there's not a load of room in here in terms of what you'd expect. With there being a motor front and back, the storage isn't that great compared to some of the others on the market when you're looking at electric vehicles. But even still, it's additional storage you wouldn't usually get. It's a decent usable size, as well as this sort of enough room for cabling and everything. Even enough room in here for an air compressor. The little toolkit, locking wheel nut and the bag, the bottle of gunk you get in there to put in your wheel if needs be, if you get a flat. So hopefully you found that useful this week, our quick look at what is engine bay cleaning traditionally, or what it's known as. So stay tuned for lots more to come with this specifically, and other tips, tricks, detailing, hacks and all that sort of stuff as we'd usually expect on channel, how-tos, that sort of thing. So stay tuned for all that. Next week we'll probably be back into paint decontamination, looking at that next step. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.